this video we're going to be discussing coordinate grids. This is an example of a coordinate grid. There are 4 quadrants in a coordinate grid. All a coordinate grid is a plane figure that shows that numbers can go on forever in either direction or any direction. If you look at the tops of the coordinate grids, they have arrows to represent that it is a line showing that they go on forever in both directions. A normal coordinate grid has 4 quadrants. Quadrant 1, and this is quadrant 2, this is quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. In 5th grade, we are only going to worry about quadrant 1. So this, you don't have to write any of this down. I just want you to look at it and see that this is what an actual coordinate grid looks like. And so we're going to look at just a quadrant 1 coordinate grid. So I gave you one today that I told you to glue into your journal, and we're going to actually do some labeling on it so you can see what all a coordinate grid is comprised of. Now, so this is a quadrant 1 coordinate grid. All coordinates are locations, and we'll take some notes on another page that you'll be able to put down and see what I'm talking about in just a second. So coordinate grids, we label them with the x and y axis. Your x-axis is going along the bottom, and the one that goes up is your y-axis. So when you climb a coordinate grid, you're talking about the y-axis. When you run on the coordinate grid, you're talking about your x-axis. This point right here is called our origin. And remember, you should be labeling all of this on your actual coordinate grid that I gave you. Origin has a very specific ordered pair. An ordered pair is 2 numbers that tell you what to do on the x-axis and what to do on the y-axis. So the origin's ordered pair is actually 0, 0. This is where all of the lines begin and run through. They all run through the origin, whether you're in quadrant 1, 2, 3, or 4, which we don't have to worry about. So that is just the basics about your coordinate grids. Okay, so now we're going to take some notes, still on the teacher side. Alright, coordinate grids are used to graph and name locations of points, because we're talking about points, which was the basic of geometry, on a plane. A plane is a flat figure that goes on forever in both directions, and we showed that with the arrows. Your x-axis is the one that runs along the horizon, so it's the horizontal one, and your y-axis is your vertical one. Origin is considered where the x-axis and the y-axis actually meet and intersect. And then we talked about, when I showed you that you'd have ordered pairs, and the ordered pair is just telling you the x-coordinate and the y-coordinate. It tells you what to do on the x-axis and what to do on the y-axis. They're always written with parentheses, and then you have the x-coordinate, and there's a comma, and then the y-coordinate. So let's do some practice with this. I'm going to go back to the coordinate grid, and you can plot the points with me so you practice with me. And then I want you to try to, on the student side, you could do any work that you need to help you out, okay? So let's go back to the coordinate grid that we're going to use. So first of all, I forgot to have you number the coordinate grid. So let's go ahead and do that. If this is 0, 0, this would be 1, 2, 3, all the way to 10. And going up the y-axis, the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to plot a point right here, and we're going to figure out what that ordered pair is. So we're going to put parentheses, and always you run first, and then you rise. So that means you're going to run across the x and then go up the coordinate grid. Some kids remember, like, you run to the tree before you can climb it. You can't climb a tree until you get to it, right? So run to the tree, climb it, or run then rise is actually the mathematical terms that you use, run and rise. Okay, so let's see how many we run. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we see our point above us, and then we rise 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one's actually called 4, 4. We're going to do a cool activity in class tomorrow, and you'll be able to see exactly how to plot these points as well. Alright, so now let's try one. We're going to plot 10, 3. This is always your x, and this is your y. So we're going to go all the way to 10, and then we go up to 3, and that's where our other point would be. It's really not a complex concept. The only thing that a lot of kids get mixed up on is that they will try to go up first and then run. You have to run first and then climb. That is super important to remember, okay? Run, then rise. Alright, what if I had the ordered pair 0, 9? This is my x and this is my y. It tells me not to run any at all, but to rise 9, so it actually would be right up here. If I had the opposite one, 9, 0, that would mean I need to run 9, but go up 0, so it would be down there. So we're going to have a lot of practice with this, so don't stress out if it's kind of confusing, because the games that we play with it are going to help it really become concrete in your mind.